Welcome to the Warriors and Wardens podcast, formerly the Origin Canine podcast. We are dedicated to sharing the lived experience of military and first responder communities from Australia and around the world. I'm your host, Tom Brown. Enjoy the show. All right, g'day everybody. Welcome to the Warriors and Wardens podcast, formerly Origin Canine podcast, episode 3 now. If you want to see Origin Canine, scroll down. The rest of the episodes are there. But today I've got a good mate of mine, cool dude. I've got Dan Baldry. Welcome, bro.
Cheers, mate. It's an honour and a privilege to be here.
All good, man. Mate, we were talking offline about how this is going to rock, man, and I want to hear about Dan, the young man.
Yeah, sure.
Hit us up with childhood, bro.
Not so young anymore, but so grew up in Sydney.
Might move a bit closer to you.
Yep. Grew up in Sydney, out west. Had great parents, loving family. Played a lot of sport. Just loved playing sport. Was always an outdoorsy kid, riding pushies and hitting jumps and busting my face open.
Yeah,
motorbikes.
What suburb, sorry, we living in?
Toongabbie.
Oh, fuck.
So out west.
Way out west.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking like
Bankstown,
Parramatta, Penrith or something.
Parramatta, not far from Parramatta.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Good upbringing, good childhood. Ended up doing a panel beating apprenticeship when I was about 16. And then finished that. Wasn't a fan of it. Did like the work, but just didn't like the average pay.
Yep.
The youngest of 3. I've got an older sister and an older brother. Then 2009, I joined the RAF as a airfield defence guard.
Yep.
It was great. Made some great friendships. Good brotherhood.
You're nervous, aren't you, Dan?
Yeah, a little bit,
That's good. That's good.
All right. And then so joined in 2009. Loved it. Loved every minute of it. Hard training. Partied pretty hard too. Got in a bit of trouble early on in my career. Got arrested.
Get fucked.
Hitting a copper in Townsville.
Damn.
So copped a bit of that from the unit.
Hang on. You hit a copper, obviously out on the piss, right?
Yeah,
like
up in Townsville.
Maybe those you guys were smacking piss or whatever.
My cousin was 1 hour. We went out on the piss with him, and then we got in a blue, and then we're walking down the street, and a copper grabbed me, and I elbowed him in the face. Got in a bit of trouble for that.
Now, assaulting a police officer, and then the unit finds out. What year was this?
09.
Fucking hell. Are you in training? Or you
just graduated IETs. So.
How did they not boot you out? If that happened now, they'd give you the boot.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky. Like the XO at the time, he was really good.
Yeah.
They sort of just gave me a hard warning.
Fuck, that's hectic, man. Yeah. So I want to rewind a bit back to when you were a kid. Like, you're obviously a mad sporty dude.
Yeah.
And I know you're still right into your rugby and stuff. What was life like for you growing up out in the West? I know back in the day, especially out West, maybe a bit rough. Was it a bit rough and tumble for you? And like, why do you want to go to the RAF or the military service-based stuff?
Yeah, it was like growing up in Western Sydney, it was pretty rough. Older kids chasing you down and giving you a hiding. I think like I always had to prove people wrong because I was always short in stature. Always got put down like, oh, nah, you're too short. You're never going to make it. All this. So I'd always try to prove people wrong and, try to better everyone and show them, this is who I am.
Yeah.
You know, I got heart for this, so I'm gonna push through.
Yeah.
So, I think that was my driving force to go to the military. Plus my great grandfather, and that served in World War One and Two. So,
shit, nice.
So,
in the army.
Army, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So he was a machine gunner in World War One, and then a medic in World War Two. Bit of a story there. He went AWOL in World War One, and then from Belgium ended up in South Africa. So.
As in, like, from the front lines, was like, nah, this shit.
Yeah, him and his best mate went AWOL and ended up in South Africa.
Wow. And what, come back to the war? Or they were done?
Nah, they picked him up on a train in South Africa and took him back to Europe.
Fucking hell. And back in the trenches?
Yeah.
Man, nice.
So,
yeah.
Bit of a story there.
Yeah. Runs in the blood, man.
Yeah, probably. Insubordinate.
Wild shit out of the piss and that. Yeah.
But yeah, like, that was probably a big driving force. Join the military because it ran in our family, and then, you know, try to prove people wrong. So.
Did you think that you encountered a lot of that, like, you can't do it stuff? Was that a sporting thing, or was it out on the street, fucking getting beat downs delivered, or
probably a bit of both?
Yeah.
You know, mainly in sport, got put down a lot, but
yeah. Were you trying to go pro or something, or you just love your sport?
Nah, just any sport. So
yeah.
Wasn't trying to go pro or that.
Yeah, okay. And what was with the RAF versus Army?
Well, I am a pretty strong swimmer. I was going to go clearance diver.
Yep.
But it was a 2-year wait. And then, Defence Force recruiting gave me the sale on Airfield Defence Guard. And I was like, oh, that sounds pretty good, you know, camping and shooting guns. So joined the RAF.
Yeah. And I know I'm sort of bouncing around a bit, but like back, say, like September 11, 2001, was that something that had an impact on you, or was that just another thing that was going on in the world? Like, did that sort of help you gravitate toward the military, say, versus the cops, for example?
I think.
Or fireys?
I think it did have impact. I think I was in year 10 at the time, September 11. It was a bit of a shock. And then, so that was back into year 10. And then 2002, I started my apprenticeship as a panel beater. And then I got my trade ticket out of that. And then I was just sort of floating in the wind. And I was like, all right, what am I going to do? And I decided to join up. So, yeah.
Yeah. And what's a panel beater? I know it's a dumb question.
So bodywork on cars.
Yeah. Because I got no idea about trades and stuff. Like, I've done a bunch of labouring or whatever on construction sites and stuff, but I know some of the stuff I'm like a boiler maker. I'm like, what are you?
Oh, that's a welder.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man. I literally thought they were making like big, like cylindrical, like water boilers or something,
well,
you know?
Yeah, well, back in the day, that's what it was. The welders building boilers and fixing boilers and stuff.
But. Yeah, welding like panels and stuff. Yeah, sweet, man. Yeah. Give us a laydown on the introduction to the military then, like with your training and stuff. Because I know when you were going through your pipeline, I think you were saying that pretty hard on you back in the day, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So recruit training, so like Wagga, 1 RTU, hated drill. Nearly got back squatted for drill. So I wasn't a fan of drill.
Yeah.
And then
nothing wrong with that.
Just hated recruit training. It was just wasn't what I expected. And then I got to employment training for ADGs and loved every minute of it. It was pretty savage. We had a sergeant in charge of us that it was pretty brutal, but I loved it. That's what I joined up for. A few of my mates are still traumatized from his specific training. But yeah, there was a ton of guys got injured and pulled off course, but yeah, at the end of it, all us guys that made it through, we earned that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How many did you start with? How many did you finish with?
I think we started with maybe 50 to 60, maybe.
Started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then graduated with, there was probably 20, 25 of us. I don't know. There was a big rate of drop off. Like,
that's
people just getting injured. People like, no, I can't do this.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I mean, maybe you take it for granted because you were there, right? And that was your introduction to that. But like a 50, roughly 50% plus attrition rate is not your average attrition rate in any military unit.
No.
Maybe like selection, right? Or maybe some sort of like specialist infantry course or something. But it's not often you lose 50% plus of a class, especially in IETs.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, give us the run. I want to hear some stories, man. Give me the rundown of this fucking dude. You'd have to drop his name or nothing.
I'm not dropping his name.
No, that's all right.
I still talk to him.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, no, that's fine. I just want to
no,
he's still in?
Nah.
Oh, there you go. He's all
good.
good.
He's a good dude. He was just hard, He was trying to build warriors and, he ended up, he just failed selection.
Yep.
He'd injured himself on selection. And he came back to run an IETs. And he just, rained downhill on us.
Yeah.
Stress positions and, there was a trooper at Canungra. So we did our first 3 weeks at Canungra. There was a SAS trooper there, and he had us in stress positions, and he goes, "Oh, you can't do that to your soldiers." And he goes, "Are they your effing soldiers?" And he goes, "No." And he goes, "Oh well, F off." And he was pretty savage. He got told he'd never run a IETs again. But I loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
I thought that's what I joined for,
Dude, and that's so true, man. Like you gotta feel like you earned it.
Yeah.
I honestly reckon that's such an important thing in careers like ours. If you didn't feel like you earned it, or if it was too easy, or it got given to you, or whatever, I don't think a lot of us feel worthy of our position.
Yeah.
That's good, man.
So even when we got to the unit, because I think courses before he ran it, I think all the guys at the unit were like, "Oh, you've got handed it. You've just got given your beret," And when we got there, we had respect from the whole unit because they knew how full on it was.
Yeah. Do you reckon he was a bit bent out of shape, maybe bitter and twisted? He's come off selection.
I think so. I'm not going into details.
That's all right.
He had a bit more going on too.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, you got some shit going at home, whatever, personally or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, man, do you want to fucking beast these dudes?" Like, yes, I do. So when you do your AGI training, so air defense guard, what's the training involved? Like, what's the sort of quals you get? What kind of stuff are you doing? What's the roles of the ADG? I've never had much to do with the AGIs, man.
So we run off the infantry pan.
Yep.
So we're just infantry for the Air Force, pretty much, protecting the airfield, and I think it's 5K out from the airfield. So we just pretty much. So the first 3 weeks was at Canungra, so we're learning fire and movement drills, basic nav, stuff like that. So it's all field skills. And then we do all our weapons training from like normal style to GLA to 84s to 66s to grenades. So
I remember back in the day, and it was a bit of a piss take there. It was like a photo of an AG on the front of like Contact magazine or one of those.
RAFSAS.
Yeah. And you've seen it. He got like the fucking scope on his MP5. But do you guys use a lot of those non-standard weapons like MP5s, M4s, and type of stuff? Is that part of your standard training package?
Not so much M4s, but MP5s. Yeah. We use them for like ASO, so aircraft security operations.
Yep.
So just 9mm.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. And do you do a lot of stuff on the like in the aircraft type drills?
Yeah. So
sorry, go ahead.
So we provide like security operations on the Hercs and the Globemasters and stuff like that. Flying around with them, getting out while they're doing sorties. We're providing security on the airfield while they're doing their sortie. And then so the loadies have protection when they're down on the airfield. So.
Yeah. Do you ever do anything like retaking aircraft, that sort of stuff?
Not so much. We touched on it a bit, but not so much. I think that was sort of a little bit out of our scope. I don't know if they're doing any of that sort of stuff now. I know they're doing a lot more flight line security for the jets and stuff. They've got to go around with the fast air a lot and provide security for them.
Yeah. So pretty much anywhere the RAF goes, the AGs go as well.
Pretty much, yeah.
Kicking your cable there. Yeah, sweet, man. So then getting into your unit, now I want to get into this thing out of the piss.
Okay, yeah. So it was actually on our, I think we graduated IATs like 2 weeks beforehand, and they sent us up to Townsville for aircraft security operations training.
Yep.
And we're going out doing sorties with all the loadies, and then we had a night out on the piss, and I think we started drinking at like 9 a.m. So I met up with my cousin and all his 1RL mates at his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, started drinking, got a bit loose, ended up out in Townsville in the Strand. Got in a blue with some guys, and then was walking down, and then all I remember is getting thrown into the glass at Mad Cow. Oh,
yeah, okay.
Yeah, all my mates are in there clubbing, and I got my face pressed against the glass. Got arrested, got put in the watch house for the night. The XO at the time, that was on X, couldn't be found.
What you say couldn't be found, like he was in the Mad Cow? Or?
I think he was out with some of his mates.
Yeah.
And then...
Or Bullies or whatever that place over the road.
And then... got let out the next day. They said, whatever you do, don't go back down the Strand. I'm like, I guess we don't. Got back to base. Got a little bit of a lecturing from, say, like the corporals and the leading aircraftman guys that were there as like TLs.
Yep.
But all in all, they were all having a bit of a laugh about it. Pretty loose.
Yeah.
Then I had to keep flying back to Townsville. I was like pleading not guilty. And then the police came up with some footage, and as soon as I seen it, I'm like, hey, guilty.
Fuck.
So 2 year good behaviour.
Shit. Yeah. And were you pleading not guilty because you were just maggot, you were rat shit and you didn't remember?
I didn't remember, yeah. I thought, I definitely didn't hit a copper. There's no way I would have hit a copper.
Yeah.
But
fucking hell, man.
Definitely did.
Yeah, that's so incredibly lucky, man. Like that could have just been the end of your whole fucking career.
Yeah,
right,
well,
man.
I was fearing that. I was like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
Done for.
Yeah. All right. And then so you're living in the unit now. New guy, you've come in, fucked up.
Yeah.
What's life like in the as an AG, like just day to day, week to week sort of thing?
Oh well, when I first, because we hadn't actually we'd been to the unit, but then the whole unit was on exercise on another X when we first came into the unit, and then we went away to Townsville.
Yep.
So when we got back to the unit in the new year after Christmas, so I had a bit of respect there because everyone was having a good laugh about me being arrested on my first X. So yeah, it was a good laugh. And then so it was pretty good. The CEO at the time was the best leader I ever had. He was really good. And then same as my sergeant, man. When I first got to the unit, it was like best times. Best time. I was in 5 flight. We were the Grim Reaper.
Did they take that away when they got rid of all the death symbols?
They did.
Okay.
They took them all away.
So
it was good. And then one of the first exercises I went on in 2010 was over to Learmouth. It was a full X.
Learmouth.
It's like Exmouth, Western Australia.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
So, 3RAR actually supplied enemy party.
Nice. Yeah. I bet they fucking pasted you up.
we caught a couple of them napping. Caught them. But this exercise was pretty loose. We're outfilled for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks.
Ugh.
In each other's pockets. Best food ever. Someone put an extra 0 on the end of the bill and got approved. So we just got steaks and chalky milks.
Lobsters and shit.
It was good, yeah. It was good. And then we come back in after X and it was Anzac Day. And they're like, all right, we're going to go into town. We're going to march and all that. So 300 plus Aggies in town marching.
300?
Yeah. It would have been close.
How many Aggies are there like across the Air Force?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know exactly anymore, but like it was one unit at the time. The other 2 units got stood down, but now there's 3 units stood back up.
Yeah.
And don't hold me to that number. I'm trying to remember.
It's fucking doctrine now. Listening, Dan. Some young dude's like 300, right?
And then we went out in town. The local owner of the pub, bad decision. He goes, anyone in uniform gets free grog until 1 p.m. And it got pretty loose. All the boys are getting jugs of beer, 2 jugs of beer each, cheersing each other with these jugs of beer. And then got back on base. Boys are punching on. I think someone bit the sergeant and got pretty loose. Been in each other's pockets for all these weeks and then
100%.
Chuck a bit of grog in there.
A few axes to grind.
Yeah. Got pretty heated.
Yeah.
All in all. Went well. The international airport got trashed by one of the boys breaking in and he couldn't get out. He smashed the windows.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, got pretty loose. Army got blamed for it.
Yeah. As in like
always good.
3RAR?
Yeah, probably. They just said Army trash international airport.
Yeah. Oh, it was an article.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fuck yeah. Mate, if you're listening, look it up.
So that was a pretty loose trip. Everyone still talks about it. They're like, best exercise ever.
Yeah.
Just no other interesting exercises that I went on after that.
Yeah. Did you obviously you've worked a little bit with the Army.
Yeah.
As much as everyone hangs shit on the RAF, saying that, you guys stay in hotels and it's all comfy and whatnot, I've in my experience, my observation, I think the RAF and sometimes even the Navy had a way better attitude towards their people than the Army did.
Oh, yeah, like within our unit, we'll look after, but RAF hated us. The rest of the RAF hated us. They're like, bloody edgies,
Yeah.
They called us like rock apes and Yeah. But like, yeah, all in all, like, yeah, we got looked after pretty well.
Yeah. I just remember, man, like not even pilots necessarily, but just in general, the Air Force and the Navy just had this really. It was like, it's going to sound really weird. It seemed like the Army had this really militaristic view towards us. It's probably the dumbest thing to say about the Army, but it was like the RAF and the Air Force had they cared about their people a lot more and they treated them a lot better. Not like the conditions necessarily were easier or they didn't expect you to do your job, but I don't know, man. It seemed like they just sort of cared about their people a bit more, and that the leadership, I always, from what I could tell, was a bit more mature. Maybe is the word I'm after.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
I see that.
Yeah. I don't know. Army just seemed like it's all about just yelling and shut the fuck up, do it sort of thing. And yeah, I don't know. Did you?
So I did a few like crossover courses. Like I did like AMV, driver, commander, a couple of different RATEL courses with the Army.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a bit different. It is a bit different.
Yeah. I reckon, man. Yeah, for sure. Do you do JLC?
JLC,
Yeah.
but ours is internal.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So like just a RAFI one or just AGI one?
But like our recon and snipers do it with 6RL.
Yeah, okay. Because you were Brizzy based?
Yeah, Amberley, Ipswich.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, sweet. Yeah, cool, man. Yeah. And then leading up, because you did your first trip
2012.
12. Yeah. Hit me up.
I think we took over from, not took over, but like I think 3 was leaving and we came in.
Yeah.
And then I think you swapped with 5-7.
7. I think it was 7RR. Yeah, they'd split at that stage, and I think 7 was in fucking Adelaide or something. I think 5 stayed in Darwin.
Yeah.
7 went to Adelaide. I was at Nutrition Warehouse yesterday. I was like chatting to the dude. Because I was wearing my multicam shorts.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got these little like tack hunt fish ones. He's like, oh, nice shorts. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. He's like, yeah, ex-Army. I'm like, yeah. And this dude was from 7. But he said, yeah, they went from Darwin down to fucking
Edinburgh.
Is that Adelaide?
Adelaide, yeah.
And then they went back up.
Oh, they moved back.
Yeah, and they're thinking of sending it back down. So I was like, what the fuck? But anyway, yeah. 7RR. Yeah. Mate, hit us with that trip, but is a 6-month deployment to the Middle East the norm or outside the norm for an AGI?
It was way outside the norm at that point. Yep. So AGIs technically, they did Iraq, like there was all the sec debt they were providing like CPP, because AGIs and MPs do CPP. So when we got told that we're going to deploy to Afghan, we're like, yes, this is what we've been training for, providing security for the airfield. Even though like it was contractors like KBSS, Kabul, like a security service from Kabul was providing base security from the towers around TK. But yeah, did force prep down at Coltana. Love that area. Not really. Did force prep down at Coltana. And then deployed in October 2012, around there. And then, so I got to finally do the role that we trained for, going outside the wire, doing patrols outside the wire, good, just like clearing patrols around the base.
Yeah, nice.
It was good. Got to interact with the local community, provided all the checkpoint security at the main gate for contractors, and then also the back gate in TK, Current Count. Seen a bit of gory stuff there. Just A&A mainly coming in after contact. So we'd have to clear the vehicles before they could go through. Seen a bit there. A couple of standoffs with the 8 Kandak, so the A&A commandos. they'd come out high-os and standoffs with them. They ran into the tower one day and
fucking spastics.
So yeah, and then a couple of other things like kids coming a bit messed up to the main gate. Just, IEDs and stuff in town, and yeah, the kids stuff sort of got to me a bit.
How could it not? 100%.
But yeah, I don't let it affect me. Now it's out of my. It was out of my control. But yeah, it was great, man. Got to do our role, clearing patrols, providing security for the gates, the back gate to Camp Holland. We'd provide security for that. So that was good. Got shot at by the Navy SEALs. They didn't get the check fire going through the range as the range goes through the the main MSR goes through the range.
Yeah.
So didn't get the check fire, so rounds went overhead, but everyone was all good.
Mate, what I know about the SEALs, like, no offense, I've got a few mates that are SEALs and stuff, but I've worked with the SEALs twice on 2 deployments, and they're just the loosest fucking dudes. The ones I worked with anyway, they just did some crazy loose shit. Some of them were fucking awesome. Some of them were you just like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like all that type of stuff, man. Shooting in the wrong time, wrong place.
Yeah.
Yeah. How close are we talking? Like over your head sort of thing?
I was a PMV commander. I was at the hatch.
And
it rung over the top.
And those boys have some ordnance too. But, they could have just as well been firing a fucking M134 or whatever that minigun thing is. Like,
it's pretty loose though in CK. Like the MSR running through, like we'd be shooting 84s at the range, and then all of a sudden the car just cruising through the range, or you'd be letting it off, and then kids would be hooking in on their motorbikes to grab the brass.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't spend much time at TK. I don't think I even went to the range at all in TK anyway. So patrols, are you talking you out in the TK township?
Just clearing patrols around the airfield. So,
yeah. Yeah, because it's a big fucking base, right? Big airfield.
It's massive.
Yeah. Anything happen outside the wire? All pretty run-of-the-mill in TK?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad on our deployment. There was a couple of own jobs. There was a koala hut thing. Someone did an own job out there as we're cruising. Boom, we're like, oh.
Explain the own job, young goal.
Yeah, he listening. So he would have been building an IED, like a bomb or that, and then his koala hut went up. So,
did you see it?
Yeah, seen it. It just went up in a cloud of smoke.
You talking like, was it one of those open roof ones, the one that had the roof?
Open roof. So I don't know, it's probably like 250 out from where we were patrolling. So
shit. Big explosion, like hit with the shockwave sort of thing, or just a big boom?
It was just a big boom. But we'll go out with the ordnance guys to provide security, like provide a harbour for them while they let off charges and find caches. And they let off this massive, like it was all this ordnance they'd collected over like 6 or 8 months or something. And all the EOD guys, the American EOD and the Aussie guys are like, oh, this is going to be the biggest blast Afghan's seen since the invasion. And man, it was big mushroom cloud.
Nice.
But yeah, it was pretty eventless deployment. Like it was pretty cruisy. But hey, I got to go over, got to experience it. It was an absolute honour to serve my country.
I mean, there's a fair bit going on there too, you know what I mean? Like, even just encountering some of that stuff at the gate, casualties, those, kids, that sort of stuff. That's, like you said, that's the sort of thing that can stay with a man sometimes. Like, what was that like at the time? Were you expecting that sort of stuff? Or was it like, was that in your handover brief from the last guys? Like, hey, you're going to get a bunch of wounded guys here? Or?
Yeah, it was a bit hard because we came in and took over from the Slovaks.
Oh,
so there was no real handover.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we took over from Slovak, and then, like, I think I sort of knew that I was probably going to witness some of that stuff, but I don't think it really sort of hit home until I got home. It really sort of started affecting me a bit, and, you know, I just abused a lot of drugs, alcohol to like manage. And then literally I stopped dreaming of a night. I'd just go to sleep, it'd be black, and I'd wake up. But yeah, and then I also went over to Manus Island for like 5 years.
5 years? Where's Manus Island?
New Guinea.
Yeah.
The offshore processing.
Okay.
Detention centre.
Yeah.
And yeah, that sort of didn't really help. It was a full men's camp. It was like a high threat camp. It was all, we get, abused people. Yeah, a lot of self-harm, So, like, it was like a refugee centre.
Yeah.
So, but their living quarters were amazing, but we got treated like we were the Gestapo, But yeah, that sort of played on me a bit too. Going to hang-ins and suicides. And,
yeah.
that was pretty regular over there. I was part of the emergency response team. So we'd be going in when there was like riots to shut it down and bring back order into the compounds. You got pretty heated at times. They'd barricade themselves in. We'd have to cut open the gates and go in, and it was pretty full on.
Yeah. Can I just dial back a second to post-Afghanistan, coming home and whatnot? Obviously, like you were saying, you see a lot of stuff. Are we getting rocketed and stuff as well?
Yeah.
In TK?
IDF, indirect fire, was like daily, multiple times a day. Yeah.
No shit. Yeah. I want to get back to the Manus Island stuff in a minute, but even the IDF stuff, what's that like, getting IDF'd, not knowing where it's going to land?
Yeah, it became the norm after a while.
Yeah.
So half of it, like, you're just like, oh, whatever. They'd undershoot, overshoot. Handful of times they'd hit, but one time it landed in the poo pond and CDs had to go in and retrieve it. Yeah, like, it just became the norm after a while. It was just like, oh, the rocket,
Yeah.
The C-RAM would go off and but yeah, you had to be cautious. Like, you'd have to be cautious and wary of it, and just, getting into cover. But yeah, it was a bit to get used to for a while there. Yeah.
And what about obviously, like you said, you're seeing a lot of casualties and whatnot, searching the vehicles, you've got to vet them going in. Are you ever treating at the gate as well?
Nah, no treatment.
No, as in because that was a policy, or because there were other people doing it?
So with the ANA, we weren't like if it was a bad case, we'd probably just call the roll one forward.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fucking hell, man. Yeah. And then I just wanted to get a bit more of a broader idea about what's life's like, even just on the camp at TK or in the surrounds. And then coming back home, can I mention your partner's name on the podcast?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so you, when did you and Roo get together?
So we got together after I got back from Afghan.
Okay, yep.
So 2013, when I got back, literally I was on like my leave after Afghan. And that's when we got together. We'd known each other for years.
Yeah.
We were friends We used to party a bit together. Yeah, it's pretty wild. We got together then, and yeah, it was all good for a while, and then things sort of started to come out. Yeah.
If you don't mind, man, tell me a bit about that post-deployment. Obviously, when you're on the leave, things are great. Met a new missus, etc. Post-leave, back to work. What did that look like for you post-deployment? Stuff starting to pop out in your head, dreams, nightmares, that sort of stuff. Like, what did it look like for you?
I just I think I spent maybe like $10K on drugs. After deployment, I spent a ton of money on drugs. Just trying to numb it, but it just wouldn't. It didn't really help. Probably just made things worse. I sort of was just going through the motions, trying to manage it. But I think at that point, it hadn't fully taken over, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I sort of feel like I still had some sort of control over it. But over time, it just kept eating me away.
Are we talking like flashback sort of thing, or just a hypervigilance, or anger, depression? What's the symptoms you're talking about?
So anger, depression, hypervigilance was huge. I'd always make sure no one was standing behind me. And that really got to Maria at the time. She's like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that?" I'm like, "Oh, just making sure it's all safe." I was real on edge. I was real short, real snappy with people. I'm short in stature, but short by temper.
A little bit shorter than usual.
It really sort of affected our relationship, especially even still so early on in the relationship. And then literally I discharged in February 2014, and then 2 days later I got a call to go over to Menace. So and I'd only just moved in with Ria a week earlier.
Shit, yeah, okay.
And then so we didn't really have time to process anything, and then I was meant to be doing even rotation, 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off on Menace. But I was doing 5 weeks on, 1 week off.
Why? I mean, 3 on, 3 off's not too bad. Why did it go to 5 and 1?
At the time, I thought it was the money. It was good.
Oh,
it was a good little bonus. I was doing
So you chose? Okay.
I was doing 2 weeks overtime, having a week off, and then going back for another 5.
Shit.
I thought at the time it was money, but I was actually keeping myself busy and motivated to just keep moving forward. So I was filling my time, so I didn't have any downtime.
Yeah.
At the time I thought it was finances, but it definitely wasn't finances. I was just trying to fill my days, and that was one way to fill the days, just keep working.
Yeah. I think that's reasonably common in our world, hey?
Yeah, 100%.
Just outwork it, outrun it. Yeah. It's not going to get me. Yeah, all right. And then, now, sorry I know I jumped way back, and I just want to skip back to the Manor stuff. So, life on the island, you did it for 5 years, yeah?
Yep.
And was it 5 on 1 off the whole time, more or less?
Most of the time. I'd say most of the time. Sometimes I'd do the 3 and 3, but most of the time it was 5 and 1 or 4 and 2.
Yeah. And then in that time you've got suicides. You've got probably, like you said, a lot of self-harm. Was there were there a lot of physical threats to you outside the riots, for example?
Yes. So I had threats against me, my family. So yeah, they threatened my daughter when she was born. They said they were gonna do some pretty nasty things to her, but at the time I was angry. Like I was ready to kill someone, but they physically couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So
does that help their case to get into Australia, or is it...
not too many of them help their case?
Yeah. Okay, I was going to say, yeah. Fucking hell. And do you, so for example, like this, I'm sorry if I'm asking.
No, that's all good.
Peppering you with questions here. If there's a dude in there that's, he's obviously there for a reason, is that a high threat place? Well, that's just everyone goes there.
So it was a full men's camp. So Nauru was women and families.
Okay.
So I did work on Nauru for a bit too. Different atmosphere, completely different atmosphere. Like Menace was pretty full on. Like there were guys on there that were legit. They were coming to better themselves, but I'd say majority were just coming for handout.
Fucking hell. And they're obviously the ones that are carrying on like fuckwits, threatening your daughters and stuff.
Yeah.
What's the escalation of that? So they're making threats and whatnot. On one hand, you're like, oh, what the fuck are you going to do behind a cage? But then on the other hand, you're like, well, I've got to take that seriously kind of thing. What's the escalation there for you? Do they make consideration for the safety of your family, or are they just like, nah, he's just a fuckhead?
Nah, not really. Like there was always the threat of police action against guys that made threat.
Yeah.
But it never followed through,
Yeah. Why is that? Was that because it was local cops?
Yeah.
Were there Fed cops there?
Oh, there were feds on the island,
yeah.
But they sort of just sat back and stayed out of it.
Yeah, okay. I guess maybe it's not their jurisdiction.
It was a bit of a political whirlwind, that whole Menace Nauru.
Yeah, true. Yeah, all right. And sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, it was on a naval base. It was on a PNG Navy base.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because I remember you told me a couple of stories.
Yeah.
A bit. Do you want to run some stories?
Yeah, sure. So,
because it sounded a bit out there.
We had an incident where I think the Navy were having a officers' family day on the Oval, and then we told all the refugees that not to go down to the soccer fields like the footy fields today to play, just because they're having a family day down there. And then one of the refugee communities decided to go down there, got in a punch on. We're coming on shift, and we heard like a black, and we're like, oh, footy fields. So we run down there, and it was on. It was on. So we like rounded up all the refugees we could, got them in. Then like a junior, like a NCO come past, and he's like yelling out gun, and we're like, God damn. They took off, speeding up the road, and they went back to the ship and got out of M16 and come back and just started spraying. Yeah, it was loose. And then...
Sorry, PNG?
PNG Navy, yeah.
Shit, okay. Yeah.
And then it got pretty loose. Some of our guys were getting smashed with sticks. We're trying to get all these refugees back into the camp. And then, we all got back into the camp. The Navy guy with the M16 was shooting at the locks, trying to get into the camp. And yeah, it was pretty loose.
Yeah.
So, we'll bunkered down in there for a few hours until, MPs came through and cleaned it all up. So.
Fuck, yeah. Because I remember you were saying, like, life's not... Like, life can be cheap in PNG sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's no... like, you say something wrong over there, you're probably going to have your arm chopped off or be killed. But,
yeah.
Just over there during Origin, like footy, it's the most dangerous night of the year. We've seen like people with their arms chopped off over a dispute over New South Wales, Queensland.
Fucking hell.
So,
yeah.
Pretty loose.
Yeah, because I remember you were saying one day a woman...
Yeah, she come running in, her brother-in-law hacked her.
Over what? Like just some stupid argument over the footy or something?
Yeah, it was over the footy. So she wasn't even involved in it.
Yeah.
It was the two brothers got in an argument and then she was the one that copped it.
Fucking hell.
So, yeah.
And how often do you deal with locals over there with that sort of stuff?
Oh, daily.
Yeah, okay. Because obviously you're living somewhere, you're working at...
So we were mentoring the local community over there.
Yeah.
Because they were looking to take over and we were looking to move out.
Sounds familiar.
Bit like...
Sounds familiar. Yeah. Yeah. 2 weeks later, PNG fell. Fucking hell. That's crazy, man. And did you ever have to, what's the word I'm after? Like, do you ever talk to the media or anything and they were like, oh, how capable are the local forces? You're like, oh, they're very good. We train them really highly.
Nah, not us. Like it was pretty rare we spoke to the media.
Yeah.
But, like we had politicians and stuff come over and check out the camps and stuff like that.
Yeah. And over that 5 years, what's your mental state like? Is it degrading? Are you keeping yourself busy? What's life like for Dan Baldry in your head?
So my fitness levels were good. I was at the gym like multiple times a day. My mental state was probably degrading. Definitely my anger was out of control. You know, my wife and kids, because I got married in 2014. We got married pretty quick, about a year.
Far out, yeah.
Yeah. So, because my wife had 2 kids to a previous relationship. Yeah. So the kids were scared of me. So the whole family be walking on eggshells. So like the whole time I was home. And then, you know, when I left to go back, Rhea reckons it was like a whole weight was lifted from the family.
And how does that play on you when you go back? I mean, anger and depression and stuff are one thing, but knowing how that sort of stuff affects your family, what's that doing to a man?
Probably sent me spiraling more out of control.
Yeah.
At that point, like I was addicted to prescription meds, like Valium, Tramadol. I was on illegal drugs like freaking cocaine and MDMA and drinking, and you know, I was like, it's a cocktail. And then for a while there, I had to make sure there was no addictive medications in the house. Even I got bit by a white-tailed spider and got admitted into hospital. Had to get surgery, and they gave me endone.
Yeah.
And Brewer threw it out. Like no, you're not touching it.
Endone's a pain med, right?
Say again?
Endone's
a
pain med.
Pain med.
Yeah.
Opioid. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's an opioid. Okay. Yeah. All right. Fuck. So obviously very addictive. And does that give you like a euphoric hit, or is it?
Yeah, it's more like but I'd take that many of them. It'd just like mellow me out.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Okay. No. And then what was the decision then to stop doing the contracting?
I thought like it was taking its toll on the family. I had my first daughter then. So 2017 she was born. And then Rory's like, oh no, you need to come back home to work. And then I kept working. And then my son was being born in 2018. And that's when Rory's like, no, you have to come back home to work. So I come back in 2018. Was just concreting for a bit, just to get the finances in. It was a bit of a pay cut. It was a bit of a shock.
Yeah, 100%.
Living it up, and then it was a huge pay cut. And then, yeah, I was like just angry. I was angry at the world. I was angry at myself. But like, I'd be taking it out on the kids or Ria, you know. I wasn't a nice person to be around. And then I got offered a job on Daydream Island as a security. So that was FIFO as well. So I can't remember what that. It might have been 2 and 2. But yeah, I'd go there, work there, and then that gig folded. So not on my doing. They just couldn't afford security. So then I came back home to work. I got a job at Norco, like a dairy.
Oh, Norco. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I know Norco, yeah.
So I was working at Norco. Worked there for a couple of years.
Doing what? Milking cows?
Nah, just milking cows. Just in the distribution side.
Yeah, so, okay.
Yeah, packing orders and stuff like
sweet.
that.
Like factory stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, didn't mind it because I got to stay busy and work through it. It was like perfect work for me because it was like so structured and just,
monotonous.
Didn't have to think too much.
Yeah.
You just got it done, and your mind was active. Yeah, and then, but I was losing my cool at work. I was like swearing at people, telling bosses how it was, just having a go, and we'd have like a improvements board, and I'd be like writing that the general manager needs to be fired because he's a wanker and stuff like that. And people are like, who wrote this? I'm like, it was me.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, just doing stuff like that, getting myself in trouble for no reason, and just looking for conflict.
Yeah.
And then, I was just in a bad way, I was like drinking at like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., especially when I was concreting. I was like getting on the piss at like 5, 6 a.m., getting trashed, driving home.
Oh, yeah.
Just messy. Getting on painkillers while I was drunk.
Is there any point in here? I'm obviously Rue's sort of probably pushing you, hey, go get some help. Things aren't good, etc., etc. Was there anything like that coming from you? Was there any sort of like self-care routine? Or do you think, fuck, this is bad, I've got to do something about this? Or were you were just in the hole, just spiral?
Yeah, I was in the hole. I was so adamant that it was everyone else's fault. It wasn't my fault. I'm not like this because of me. It was you or you or you, pointing the finger. Pretty common. It took a couple of me and Maria, we separated a couple of times, but like early on I think it would have been 2019. We separated. She said we need to separate. And that's when I sought help. I was seeking counselling, like open arms and stuff like that. Ended up seeing a psychologist, but I wasn't in a point to get help. I was going to him to satisfy her, and I was going, and I was just telling them what I knew they wanted to hear, so I could leave. I was like giving them what they wanted to hear, so then I could get as quick as I could get out of there. And then, so did that for a while. I think it was 2021, we separated again. Then I reached out to Open Arms for like couples counselling.
You did?
Because I was like, I don't want to lose my family. So I had young kids, and so called Open Arms, and we had a great counsellor. And then, what was her name? Helen. She was really good. She was directly through Open Arms, so it was at their Broadbeach office. And she was helping us for ages. And she said to me, she goes, "All right, I can't help you anymore." She goes, "You need more help." So she put me onto a GP. That's who I see now.
Who's that? Do you mind saying?
Ken Cameron.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I knew it was Ken. Yeah.
Innovative medicine.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're a great team there. So I got onto him, and then started going through the process of diagnosis. It's been going on for like 10 plus years.
Yeah, fucking long time, bro.
Yeah, I didn't witness anything too bad, you know, but like when I look back now, I'm like, yeah, I did. So, so I was diagnosed with, multiple mental health, drug addiction, and substance abuse. And then I got admitted into a mental health hospital. Before that, I'd had like suicidal ideation, and you know, I'd take off and you know, go out into the bush, and but yeah, didn't go through with it. Definitely had thoughts of it.
So sorry to cut in. Were you going out and rehearsing sort of thing, or going sitting there on your own and thinking, "Fuck, could I do this?"
I don't think it was could I do this. It was like how I was planning. Like, how am I going to do this? All right, this is where I'm going to do it. How I'm going to do it. All right. I wanted to do it out there. I didn't want to do it at home, where like my kids may have found me. You know, I just wanted to go out in nature and just go. You know, because I felt like I was only hurting my family. My kids, they absolutely feared. You know, and who wants that? No one wants their kids to be scared of them. You know. And then so I was diagnosed, and then I got admitted up into the Keith Pain unit up in Brisbane, Greenslopes. It's like a veteran mental health clinic. It was good. They fed me full of a ton of different drugs. I did them one night, and then the feeling was like I was in a good place that I was like, no, I'm not touching these drugs. I was at that stage where I was ready to really help myself. I said, I'm not touching these. I'm going to be addicted. And I was admitted in there just before my youngest was born. She's 2 years old now.
Yeah.
So I was admitted in there just before she was born. So, Rua was at home, pregnant, at the back end of her pregnancy. So, it was really tough on her. My parents came up to support her during that time. It was a hard time. I remember when I first went in there, I just laid in the room and I was like, what am I doing here? I had like an amazing man that I have so much respect for. He disciples me. His name's Phil. He was sending me scripture to read. I really didn't know Christ at this point. I was going to church. My wife was Christian. I was going in support of her, but it was just like in one ear, out the other ear. I was like, oh, I don't need this stuff. And then, yeah, so I refused to take any of the drugs in rehab. The psychiatrist wasn't a fan of me. But I went to all the daily lessons, programs, just to educate myself on what was going on, and getting tools to better myself. I was still on a lot of drugs though, but some of the drugs I wouldn't take. And then I was discharged the day before my daughter was born. So yeah, this little girl is our blessing, our little girl Faith. Yeah, so I was discharged, day before, caught a taxi from the rehab to the hospital. Was a bit out of it from drugs. But yeah, it was the most beautiful moment watching your kids be born. Whereas previously, my state of mind with my other two kids, I was just like, I was a mess. But yeah, that wasn't my healing. My healing hadn't come yet.
We're going to get to that, man. I want to hear about that, but I got to tell you, man, like this is your first podcast, and I think a lot of time we take podcasts and stuff for granted, listen to someone tell a story while we're driving to work, whatever, and just like, fuck, that was a bit hectic. But like for a dude to come on a podcast and talk about this sort of stuff for the first time so publicly, man, and I can see how fucking uncomfortable you are because it's hard stuff to talk about, man. So, I don't know, man. I just thought that was worth mentioning, dude, because it's like, it's the worst, fucking lowest. And I know there's a bit more in there too. But yeah, man, it's like you're doing a good job. I'm just saying, that's it. Yeah.
Yep. Yes, man. Appreciate it. So yeah, daughter was born October 2024. 2023. No.
She's the same as my younger one.
2024.
Yeah.
Got 5 kids on.
You're like 2019. Fuck, I don't know.
2024. So yeah, and then it was a bit of a journey. Found a good psych on the Goldie here. He was like, all right, we're going to start weaning you off some of these meds. He goes, they're not good for you. He was really good, really supportive. So we didn't really have time to process that either. Me being in rehab, we come out and had a newborn. So yeah, it took a bit. I was good for a while, probably a couple of months. Then I started spiraling again because I had, you name the addiction, I probably had it. Drugs, alcohol, pornography. Pornography really destroyed me and my relationship with my wife. It really ate away at my soul. It's evil stuff. My wife realised I sort of fell back into my old ways, drugs and pornography. So she'd had enough. She'd been praying forever, and she felt the Lord press on her heart, and stick in there. It's coming. Freedom's coming. And then, she'd had enough. She told me, no. She goes, I love you, but we can't walk this journey together. We're done. And that's when I was ready to spiral out of control. Tried calling one of my mates. I was going to get on the gear. Couldn't get a hold of him. So I went to the bottle-o, got a toolie, And I was like, drank that, and then had like one sip, and I was like, what are you doing? I put it in the bin. Had one of my mates call me. He's like, you want to come to a men's night tonight? I was at a church down on the Goldie, and then I had another mate. They were just kicking off like a Bible study, Brothers in Christ. And I was like, yeah, all right, I'll come to that. So I went to that. Didn't even know this guy that called me. I knew him, but didn't know him, sort of thing. I'd met him before, but I hadn't really spoke to him.
Yeah.
And like, man, I just like unloaded everything on him on the drive. And yeah, man, I thank God every day for my wife's obedience, for sticking in there with me. So this amazing man, Carney, he spoke life into me. All the men at the Bible study, they lifted me up, spoke life into me. And then that very night, because I came home, because Reardon kicked me out. She just said, we need to, separate. We can't walk this journey together. We're still trying to work out what was going to come of it. And like I said before, I didn't dream. I'd go to bed, it was black, and I'd wake up. This very night, same night, I went to sleep, and I had this like crazy like nightmare dream. I was being choked. Couldn't breathe. It was pure darkness. I've never seen anything so dark. It was like, yeah, it was dark. I know where I was. I was in the waiting room to hell. I know 100%. Like I've spoke to other people that have been in that darkness, and they explain it the same. I was living a pretty evil life, the way I treated people, the way I treated myself. I couldn't breathe, literally being choked. I believe I was going to die in my sleep that night. I had like a little pocket. I seen this little ball coming towards me. It hit me in the mouth, and all I got out was, help me, Jesus. And I watched all this darkness exit me. And then light was shining in that darkness, and there were other people in there. I don't know who they were, but I could see their faces, and I was watching darkness leave them as well. I didn't know what this meant. I didn't know anything about deliverance or anything, and I couldn't even remember the last time I dreamt. So I spoke to the guy that disciples me.
Phil.
Yeah. So spoke to him about it. What's this mean? And he goes, it means like, the Lord's showing you that he's bringing freedom. Freedom's coming. And then he educated me on what deliverance was and what happens. And so leading into it, he educated me on it. And then I reached out to Carney, the guy that took me to the Bible study, and another one of my mates, Brett, and also another guy, Jason. We're looking to do it. Well, I seen Jason on the Sunday at church, and I'm like, oh, when are we going to do this? And he goes, oh, we'll do it this Thursday because it's a public holiday. I've got it off. And of all days, it was Anzac Day. Anzac Day 2024. Yeah. And then he called me on the Thursday morning and said, I can't make it. My son's sick and all this. I'm like, yeah, all good. And then I was like, something's trying to stop this. And then my wife she looked at my niece who had a Pokemon shirt, and the shirt said Demon. It did like a 3 take. She looked at it like 3 times, and it still said Demon. 4th time she looked back, it changed back to Pokemon. It's like 100%. Something's trying to stop this.
Yeah. Stop what? Sorry, you guys getting together
to pray. So these men were going to pray for me for freedom. And then, so deliverance is like someone who wants freedom. It's sort of like, so there's exorcism, and that's like someone who isn't willingly wanting that freedom. Whereas deliverance is like someone that willingly wants freedom. So yeah, we ended up doing it at my mate's house in his home gym. So it was crazy. It was probably the most beautiful moment of my life was that day. I can go into it.
Yeah, go on, bro. Hit us with it, man.
Yeah, so we led. So Phil started praying, and then Carney and Brett were praying as well. Phil led it, and then I allowed doubts creep in. Been going for probably an hour. I was like, oh, whatever. Is this even going to work? Whatever. And then I was like, wasn't having a bar of it. It was going to work. So I said, no, get out, leave my head. And then bang, in that instant, I broke out in this crazy sweat. Like I could feel like this grossness seeping out of my pores. And then like the other guys didn't even break a sweat. And I had a pool of sweat underneath me. And then I just collapsed to the ground. They reckon I like roared like a lion. And then I stood up and I was like floating. And I had that floating euphoria for like, the way I explain it, because I was a drug addict, my go-to was MDMA. Felt like that. Felt like MDMA, and I felt like it was the Lord saying, see, you don't need these counterfeit drugs to get this high. I can give you this high.
Use the real one, yeah.
Yeah. And I think I used to question, why didn't I do this earlier? Why didn't the Lord pull me out earlier? And because it wasn't my time, it was in his time. And he brought me into freedom the way that I was going to understand and the way that I was going to hold on to that freedom, you know. Because if he brought me through earlier, I may have fell back into my old ways. So we all have to go through our trials and judgments to walk in pure freedom.
Yeah. That's intense, man. I've never heard you tell that part of the story before. I know you had told me before, you were like, yeah, the way I was delivered was a bit extreme, probably a bit outside, you know, what some people go through, man.
Yeah.
And when was this? What year was this? It was 2024.
2024.
After Anzac Day.
Anzac Day.
Oh, it's on Anzac Day.
On Anzac Day.
Okay, so you got it to go on that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Has anyone front kicked your niece yet? Like, or was that just the t-shirt?
Nah.
I was gonna say I'll be dealing with that straight away. All right. Yeah. So when did you meet up with Andy and the reboot guys? Yeah.
That was only like 2025. So we actually crossed paths throughout the years. No, it would have been 2024. No, 25. But like we actually were at the same church as Andy and that back in like 2018.
Yeah.
Didn't know each other though. But yeah, it wasn't until last year, start of last year, I think it was.
Yeah. Fuck. So 2024, deliverance, been saved.
Yeah.
Now you've obviously had Catholic. You were raised a Catholic.
Yeah.
And then Rue is a Christian. And it's been in your life for a while, and you're probably going to be like, fucking whatever, you know, I go to church, I just run through the motions sort of thing. But it wasn't until you were delivered that you actually went, nah, this thing's for real kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'd never tell people that I was a Christian or whatever. Like, I'd keep it quiet. Because I think I was like, I needed to witness things firsthand. I was very much like, nah, if I can't see it, I can't believe it. But when, like people, I came home on Anzac Day 2024 and my wife didn't even know who I was. Like literally, physically, my face looked different. I looked like a completely different person. And that was just the weight of darkness lifted off me.
Now, obviously, this is a big life-changing moment, and you've maintained this, obviously.
Yep.
How, share to say this, you've still got to be proactive, right?
Yeah, 100%.
You definitely have to surrender yourself to God, to Jesus, the Holy Spirit, go through that process, right? But do you find that do you want to tell people out there that are going through this process themselves, like, you can go and be saved, but you still have to be proactive. You still have to go and do things. For example, like and this is what I was asking about Andy and Reboot. You've gone through deliverance. You've still gone and done the Reboot course, and you still today you do the Battle Initiative stuff with Hov, Mighty Oak stuff. You've done the Brothers in Christ. Tell me a bit more about the journey after deliverance, man, and what's that look like for you, dude?
Yeah, so like I was going to church before my deliverance, and but I was still walking in that darkness. And when I did get the freedom, I really was like, I'm giving God my all, because he brought me out of darkness. He alone brought me out of darkness. So I'm going to honor him with everything I've got. It doesn't get easier. When you're walking with Christ, it doesn't get easier. It actually gets harder because the enemy had you. Spiritual battle is real. So the enemy had you, and then he wants you back. So the lies of the enemy come at you really hard. And when you're rooted on God's word, the enemy has no attack against you, okay? He'll try, but he has no attack against you. And then that's when he starts to attack other areas of your life, your family, your kids, your wife. And that's why us men, as spiritual leaders of our household, we are born to be leaders. We are to disciple our wives, disciple our kids, and teach them. This is what we stand on. Stand on the word of God and lean on Christ. Call out the name of Christ when the enemy is attacking you. Like kids with nightmares. Like, our son, Ezekiel, I was going to pray for a friend of ours' wife. She got struck down with GBS, Guillain-Barré syndrome.
Okay.
And she was paralyzed. We're going in to pray for her in the hospital. This was last year. And
wait, is this Phil's wife?
No.
No. Okay, that's something different.
We're going in to pray for her, and leading into it, I was doing a fast, and I was like, I'll do like a 3-day fast. Leading into it, and then I felt the Lord laugh at me and say, "No, you don't get to choose when you finish this fast." I was like, "Okay, you know me." And then I was like, "All right." So got home, said to her, I'm like, "I got to go pray. I got to go get in the Word and pray." She goes, "All right." So I was going to go into my room, and I felt the Holy Spirit drag me into my son's room, and he suffered nightmares. It was always serpents. Dragged me in there, and I was literally just reading the part where Jesus is delivering demons out of children. And I just said, "Thank you, Lord, for protecting our children." Rhea comes running, knocks on the door. She goes, "What were you just praying about?" I'm like, "I just was reading about the deliverance of demons out of children, and I just thank the Lord for his protection over our kids." And she said, "Something come running out of the room, stood there, looked at me, and then bolted out the front door. And our son's never had nightmares since."
Still.
Still.
Fucking hell. So I've never really spoken about my faith on podcasts before. I mean, I've had some vaguely similar experiences in my own right, and for me, I'm like, I know, I can't deny my own experiences, right? What do you say to people listening that are like, fucking religion, it's all bullshit, you're fucking making it up or whatever? Like, I know what I know what I would say, and I don't try to convince anyone. But I can't deny my own experiences, man. Like, well, hit us with that, dude, because I'm sure you have and you will come across that a lot.
Yeah. So I'll just say, I used to be you. Like I was like, I need to see things before I believe, and I was like full against religion, and I'm like, oh no, it's all lies. It's all just I literally used to say, oh no, faith is just for weak people. I'd say things like that. But if you met my wife, if you met my friends that knew me beforehand, when I was not such a nice person, you ask them, they'll tell you, and I give all glory to God for that. He alone brought me into freedom. It took for me to surrender. I know surrender's a hard word for, military guys, and it's a hard one.
I struggled and still struggle with that because I'm still like, nah, this is the Tom Brown show. I know what to do. But man, I still struggle with the surrender part. Hey,
but you're not giving up. Surrender doesn't mean give up.
100%. Yeah.
Surrender means, okay, I'm going to give control to you. Think of like a good leader, right, in the military, right? Think of like an officer or a sergeant that you looked up to, that, led by example, all right? You're giving them control because they're going to lead you right down the right path, right? Different story if it's an officer you've got no respect for that does stupid decisions. But, God makes all the right decisions, and it's all for the right reasons. So we're literally just saying, okay, I'm going to let you lead my steps. Yeah, you're my commander. I'm going to let you guide me. So you're not giving up. You're actually handing control over to God to guide you, lead your steps, and lead you down the right path.
Yeah, that's a good example, man, because I think I had this thing where I was like, I didn't want to let anybody else take over. I love control. I know what I'm doing. Like I've taken control of my recovery process and done a lot of this stuff. But yeah, the surrendering part was difficult. And for me, I'm like, if we all serve a higher power, somewhere, fucking government, military, your fucking boss at your job, whatever. And for me, I'm like, well, just because you're not, like you said, you're not giving up. You're just realizing that there are things bigger than you out of your control, and what's the biggest thing that's in control. And it's just, I think it's just admitting that there's things out of your control, and that sometimes you've got to surrender yourself to the process. So, and the way I equate it is like walking in a river. Like I felt like back in the day, I was fucking like walking up the river against the tide. And then I sort of was like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I doing everything the hard way? And then I changed to like walking across the river. And now I was like, okay, I think it's pulling me that way, you know what I mean? Like a direction. And then I kind of turned and I'm like,
I think they have an explanation with that. It's like the leaf in the river.
Yeah.
Allowing the river, which is God, flowing water, to guide your path. Okay? So just lay in his presence and allow him to guide your path. They call it like the leaf in the river. Or
oh, fuck, there you go. And dude, that's one of the ways that I found God, for example. Like I was talking about all this stuff in my fucking presentations or whatever, and I was discovering all these things, thinking I fucking invented it. And it's this shit's been around for years, man, like thousands of years, hundreds of years. It's in the scripture, it's in psychology, it's in philosophy, it's in the it's in books, it's in ancient history. Like,
yeah.
So for me, I was like, well, surely there have to be like some sort of universal principles, truths, realizations that come from somewhere that originate from some kind of source, and that was one of the ways I found God. But yeah, I don't know, man. I find this stuff fascinating. but I also don't really talk about it on the podcast and stuff because it's for me it's so fresh and so new, and I kind of I don't know, man. Like I just not like I want to keep it to myself, but I'm kind of like I'm still not sure what
it's understandable.
This thing is, eh?
That used to be me.
Yeah,
for such a long time. You know, like I first went to church with Rory back in like 2014 when I was back for like a week. I was like, whenever I was back, I went in support of her. And, you know, but I was just going in one ear, out the other ear. I was just going to church. I was like, call it like a Sunday Christian, you know? Church on a Sunday, pants down on a Saturday night, you know? You know what I mean?
Like, yeah.
There's a ton of them out there, you know? They're out drinking on a Saturday night, partying, and then bang, church on a Sunday.
Yeah.
That was me.
Does that hypocrisy fuck you off? Do you look at that? Because it used to annoy me a little bit, and now I'm just like,
but that's their
whatever,
walk.
man.
That's their walk.
Yeah, it's not for me to.
It's not mine. You know, like that's on them. That's for them and God to work out. You know, I'm not one to judge. Like God's the only one that can judge. We all, as human nature, we all judge. Right?
Yeah, you can't not.
You know, we all judge, but you know, when we learn to say, okay, that's not for me to judge. You know, it's not affecting me. You know, it might get me upset, like because they're not living the right life. But you know, that's their journey, and we can tell them, you know, you need to repent. You need to, you know, take it to God and say sorry for doing this. But yeah, as long as I'm walking the right path with God, I'm happy, and as long as I'm guiding my children and my wife down that right path.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's part of the other reason I don't really talk about it a lot, because I'm kind of like, well, I'm only telling from my experience, and if people are going to find God, then they're going to find God. And
they don't find. He finds them.
Well, yeah, exactly. And it's not up to me. You know what I mean? Like I'm not Jesus. I'm not going to be like, hey man, can I tell you something cool? But no, we're like, okay. You know, I'm happy to sort of watch people, and I've got mates and stuff that I pray for, and I'm like, man, I hope you fucking find this thing, dude, because you need it. You know what I mean?
100%.
But I'm not going to tell them about it. You know, if it's part of the plan, it's part of the plan.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Now, dude, hit me with. You're obviously a very service-minded guy. You've gone through your deliverance. Hit me with all the stuff that you're doing now, man, because you are just like, that's why I gave you that coin, bro, because you're just balls to the wall trying to fucking help people, like starting up. Nice. I've seen it before. You're just balls to the wall, man, like trying to help people, trying to fucking guide people, like help people learn from your experience, etc., man. Hit me with your extensive repertoire of the things that you do in your life at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. So other than 5 kids and a wife, yeah.
Which you could, you know, well and truly stop at and be like, no, I'm doing a good job.
Yeah. No, they are my first ministry, is my wife and kid.
Yep.
You know, and then, you know, me and my wife are doing Bible college at the moment, learning theology. So that's good. Yeah, so we help out Andy Cullen and Zoe. We mentor on their reboot programs, PTSD Resurrected. It's very rewarding, and seeing people get understanding and knowledge and freedom. That's rewarding. That's very trauma-specific training. So it's faith-based program. It's really good. And then, yeah, it was a full God moment how we got in contact with the Andrew Hovden. Full God moment. we were looking for programs. I found Mighty Oaks in the US. I emailed them.
Yeah.
Heard nothing back, and I was like, oh well. I was like, all right, Lord, if it's your will, I just surrendered it to him and said, oh well, if it's yours. Within like a minute of me handing it over to God, I got an email from Andy, and he's like, oh, we've been praying for someone down the Goldie to jump on team and stuff like that. So we connected in with Andrew really well. We sort of got in on the back end of the launch of Battle Initiative. They hadn't launched yet, so we sort of come in at the pointy tip end. Good timing.
Yeah. Nice work.
So
of who? I'll beep his name out.
And then, so no, it was really good. We connected him really well with him and his wife, Corey, and the whole team. They renamed it the Battle Initiative. So it's from the US Mighty Oaks program. Chad Rubichet, if you're into MMA so he was like a Bellator champion.
And I think for anyone listening, watching, you can still go on, like, he was on the Sean Ryan show.
Yeah.
He was like in a JSOC.
I think he was a copper.
He's had a
pretty big career. Like, I think he was a copper. Then he joined the Marines. I think he joined like Recon Marines, and then may have even been CIA.
Yeah, he was in JSOC, so the Joint Special Operations Command. It's like an amalgamation. There's like fucking dev guys, CAG guys in there, Recon Marines. It's a big like the guys.
Yeah.
He knows
he's had a career.
He knows what he's doing.
And then he come out and got into MMA and became like Bellator champion, and then he was like radically saved. And then him and his wife said, all right, we need to establish some sort of program to help these veterans and first responders. And one of his best mates, Jeremy, he got him on board, and then they collaborated and worked out a program. I think they've been sort of running for about 15 years, maybe officially 13.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a bit of backstory on Mighty Oaks. They're doing great things in the US, changing the statistics of veteran suicides, restoring marriages, restoring families. So they're doing great things over there.
So are you, bro.
I know, it's all the Lord. It's an honour just to be able to be in his presence to do his work.
Yeah.
And then, so you got in contact with Andy, and then, we ended up launching August last year was the first program, 2025. I think we had 24 veterans, 1 police officer on that program. My best mate came on that program. Me and my wife had been praying for him for a while.
Oh, yeah. I remember this guy. I forgot his name.
My best mate, Aaron.
Aaron, yeah, okay.
He was doing it pretty tough. He was in and out of hospital. He called the hospital up to check himself in, and they said to him, we'd love to take you, but we've gone into liquidation. The hospital's shutting down. And I called him that day and said, applications are open, sign up for our first program. And he goes, yeah, all right. He goes, I've tried everything else. I may as well.
Why the fuck not?
He goes, yeah. And he goes, they just shut down the hospital I was trying to get back into. I was like, oh, well, that's the Lord shutting it down. He goes, what, for me? I'm like, it only matters about the one, mate. Only matters about the one.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? The Lord will drop everything to get the one. He signed up. He was a bit unsure. He had no faith, never been to church, nothing. First 2 days were pretty full on for him. And then he come around, gave his life to the Lord, and he's been doing good ever since. Like, he's doing really good. So his whole mental health is switched. It's changed.
Dude, I remember he at the battle initiative, like little, not the expo day, but like they had like the open day sort of thing. And he gave his little testimony. He was talking about his kids and stuff, and I teared up, man. I was like, oh, geez, it was just like, something about the way he told the story. I don't know. And you too, man. I was like, fucking hell. When I'm watching like dads reconnect with their kids and stuff, it just fucking gets me somewhere. You know what I mean? It just takes me somewhere different, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, that was a great program. Like guys that had faith, got fresh revelation. Like they got fresh understanding that, okay, maybe I wasn't quite walking the right path with Christ. Yes, I was walking the path, but I may have veered off a little left or right. So it sort of gave them understanding, all right, this is where my path is. This is where I'm going back to. Majority on that first program had Christ in their life. But yeah, it was good. Guys got fresh understanding of, okay, this is how I should be walking. And then, yeah, that was so good, that first program. We had a few of the US guys come over from Mighty Oaks. We had four guys come over. So that was really good. They come over. A few of them will come over each program. Second program was in December 2025, and we had more first responders on that one. Had a few coppers, had a handful of fireys. So it was good because, they witness some pretty full-on situations within their roles. So, yeah. And then, so that was such a rewarding course. It was completely different. The same, but different, just different sort of atmosphere on the second one to the first one. Yeah, it was beautiful. Watching the Lord do his work in these men and just watching them from where they were at the start of the week. It's a live-in program. It's a week-long program. It's all paid for through sponsorship and donors. So, yeah, from where they were at the start of the week to watching them get that freedom at the end of the week, like throughout the week, to walk, to go home and just continually better themselves. It was great. I wish there was something like this around when I was going through my struggles.
Yeah. Have you noticed a big uptake in people becoming Christians in the military, like first responder kind of world?
Yeah, so it's just in general. So just in general population, there is, they call it revival. So there's a revival going on right now, especially here on the Gold Coast. We're seeing it like young people coming to Christ, veterans, first responders, they're all coming to Christ. Everyone's like having like an awakening. But like Gold Coast has the second highest population of veterans behind Townsville. So yeah, there's a massive veteran population on the coast.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed it, man, and I've spoken to a few people about it. There's a lot of people turning Christian, a lot of people looking to faith, that type of stuff. So, yeah, I just wanted to see if that was sort of concurrent with you, which obviously it is, because we operate in the same circles for the most part. Yeah, hectic, man. So what about the future, dude? What's the next step for you? Are you just going to keep doing battle initiative stuff, or have you, obviously, once you're a trained theologian, are you doing your own thing? What's going on there?
So, yeah, we'll still work with PTSD Resurrected, the reboot program with Andy and Zoe, plus Battle Initiative. But yeah, me and my wife have a heart for families as a whole, helping the kids navigate life from like houses with PTSD. So we have a big heart for the kids and getting them healing because they need just as much help as the veteran or the spouse. So.
Yeah, dude, I feel like that's something that we don't often look at. I'm sure it's considered in all sorts of places, and I'm sure there are people that do it. Nothing.
There's nothing. They have like I think it's, I don't know if it's DVA or RSL. They got that Kookaburra Kids, but it's sort of like teaching the veterans to reconnect with their kids, but there's nothing that sort of helps the kids navigate like a PTSD household.
Yeah. Fuck. I mean, that's a good thing, bro. Yeah. It's funny, man. We always forget about the families, dude. Like, and I think we don't give our families the grace that we expect. You know, we fuck up, we make a bunch of mistakes, and we're like, I'm a veteran, but I did this, I did that. You got to fucking, got to put up with me.
Yeah,
but I don't think we often extend that to our families. I say we, like the royal we.
Yeah, I think people, they take ownership. Oh, I'm a veteran. I went through hardship, or so gives me a right to act the way I do. But that's not right. So it doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't give us the right to act like an idiot. Like we always have the choice to do the right thing, and that's a gift from God. He gave us the gift of choice, and then through disobedience and sin in the beginning, Adam and Eve, through their disobedience, sin and death entered the world. But he gave them the choice of not to eat the fruit, and they chose to eat it. And that's like us. We have a choice to do right and wrong. And no diagnosis should be the right to do wrong by anyone.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. I think that's a message we don't hear enough. Hey, we're like, yeah, we get it. You went through some stuff, and I've got all the empathy in the world for people, but the end state has to be you've got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You've got to move on. You've got to do X, Y, Z, and you have to do it. Like, yeah, we'll give you all the help we can give you, but the end state, the end point you reach is that you've got to do it.
Yeah, that's it.
Your life has to change, and you've got to keep making the choice. Yeah. Do anything else you want to bang out before we wrap it up?
If you haven't already checked out the Battle Initiative website, jump on there, check it out. Get on the socials, see what we're about. You're in the veteran or first responder community, or you're the spouse of one. We take spouses on program too. Jump on, check it out. Register if you want to come on program. It's fully funded, from airfares to accommodation to food to activities and programs. So jump on. It's a good thing.
Perfect, man. And dude, I've got 3 questions, man. I'll be asking my guests at the end of the potty. So first one is, what does your service mean to you?
I think it was, honour, privilege, and it was definitely part of my journey. It was growth.
Yeah, interesting, man. Eh? It's not the whole you, right? Yeah. Oh, damn it, I've asked him out of order. That's all right.
Oh.
That's fine. It's fine. The whole podcast is ruined. Next one, dude, is so who are you outside of your service, outside of that service part of you?
Yeah, so I'm a loving father. I still love sport and staying active. Probably going to play in the Masters this year for league, see how my body holds up. It's hard. Like, I've got 5 kids, so a lot of my time is family. Plus, I've got my community of men. I've shut a lot of doors throughout the last couple of years of people that may take me back down the wrong path, which I don't think it will happen these days because I've got the strength. But yeah, just my community is definitely a part of me today.
Yeah, nice, man. And what about looking back at young Dan, or even anyone just starting out in this kind of world, in that sort of military first responder world? What advice would you give for a younger you or that person?
Give it your all. Dig deep. You'll prove yourself wrong. Think of when you're ready to give up, keep going, because you'll prove yourself wrong. And that's the same on your faith journey. If you've got faith, dig deep, dive deeper into it, and it's going to just only strengthen you. You're going to strengthen yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. So.
Yeah, awesome, man. Bro, perfect, dude. Thank you so much for coming on, dude.
Cheers, man. It's been an honour.
No, man, honour's all mine, bro. All right, I'll bang it there, mate. But thanks everyone for listening. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next time. Catch you later. Thanks for listening to that episode. We've got more episodes on the way. In the meantime, check out warriorsandwardens.com for keynote speaking or workshops for operational readiness and longevity in military or first responder teams using emotional well-being and sharing lived experience. I'm your host, Tom Brown. See you next time.